Creation's Journey to Life, Day 73. Living the Dream is the Purpose of Life. Watch the documentaries The Trap, The Century of the Self, and Psywar to see how feeling trapped humanity into stealing each other's lives. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to not realize that generation after generation, those that teach the children on planet Earth, at home and at school, and at university and through the media, have created the purpose of life to have the God of happiness be creating a dream to be chased as feeling good by emphasizing that if you are not feeling good, there must be something wrong. And in this way have influenced all decisions and words on earth to be subject to feeling, making all choice controlled by feeling, with the predictable outcome of choice to be, when I am feeling good, it must be the right choice. In this process, contaminating all reason and common sense, reducing life to only a feeling with devastating effects to the basic human and animals and plants right to life that the earth granted each equally. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to not realize that once an adult, the influence of feeling as the goal to life is chasing the dream has become the centerpiece of the holy consumerism system, where each seeks to find the holy relic of feeling, where at least two or more people agree with the person's feeling, purpose to give it the righteousness of God, because the spirit of feeling was confirmed because others agreed with me, regardless of whether the feeling actually has an outcome that is best for life equally or harms. There is more than me, and because I am not alone, I must be right, and I have the right to find my own way as my feelings. My dreams are all that matter. As long as I can find one person to agree with me and share my dream, I have found my unique purpose in love. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to not realize that the hold consumerism has, as Holy Communion, created the holy dream where two or more as a family can be in the holy presence of the love of the dream of consumerism, chasing the dream of consumerism as a very entertaining life, centered around the love of family and relationships in the unique greatness of the exhilaration created by this holy purpose to live life to the fullest, regardless to the daily fact of global poverty growing in the face of this holy dream of self-centered interest. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to not realize that by having the feeling as the purpose of life, life is stolen from vast numbers of living beings on earth. But those in the dream have lost touch with reality and have employed the slaves lost without money to be the police forces and armed forces that must protect the dream at all costs, laying mayhem at the doors of many daily. But the dream comes first, and without a dream, life is worthless, is the holy message of holy consumerism. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to not realize that the dream is nothing but a dream programmed into the living flesh to be repeated in visions and feelings and thoughts, convincing the programmed being that this holy dream must be true, because it is all the dreamer can see, and as long as the blood, gore, and war created by the dream is far away on different shores, the dreamer lives only for the dream, selling life out to be worthless. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to not realize that feeling, like feeling, love, or feeling good, have been commercialized by holy consumerism as the key to the dream, and that without the feelings that will bring the dream is impossible. And so greed for the dream has become justified as the only purpose to life, because this dream can be experienced, and therefore it must be real, as experience makes things real on earth, is the justification. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to not realize that the mechanics as to how feelings are created in the living flesh is never taught to anyone. By making the whole process of creating the feeling part of the divine process of holy consumerism, to align the feeling to the purpose of the dream, so that the dream can be obtained and experienced. And this too is placed through all education and media as examples till the desire of the dream triggers the choice of commitment to positively dedicate all attention to the dream, so that the attraction of the dream can be attracted to the dedicated positive commitment to the dream, to bring the dream into manifestation to be experienced, because then the dream is reached and life is fulfilled. Those that have managed this will then become the examples that the dream experience on earth is possible, And so all the accepted system of communication on Earth aligned to just sell the dream. Find the dream and experience the dream, with an acceptance that some will get the dream and some will not. But at least I tried and gave it my all. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to not realize that if one did understand how the living flesh is programmed to produce the feeling and desire for the dream, one will realize the unethical nature of the process and see to what extent the data and reality confirms that the dream is destroying life on Earth. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to not realize that all in the dream creators and the dream chasers are lost in the dream, and that by the time the physical world that proves the energy for the dream runs out of energy, it will be very difficult for life to continue on Earth, and the dream would be proven to have been just an illusion, with even the experience also being an illusion, as the experience was subjectively programmed into the flesh to create an illusion of reality in the mind. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to not realize that because life is a gift given to each, it can be taken away, and that therefore no one on Earth has the right to eternal life if life on Earth is not honored, and the dream shows that life is not realized or honored, and thus the future is certain. Unless the dream is given up and life on Earth is taken care of equally as what is best for all life, always, as an example that self is in fact eternal life. One is always equal to what one lives, as above, so below, as in, so out, always equal, an inequality to the real choice made that will determine the outcome of who each one is, in fact. I commit myself to show that the dream is not the purpose on Earth, but that equality as life, as the living dedication and choice, is what was granted to see who will be eternal life and who is not worthy of life, and will only be equal to a dream forever. I commit myself to show that the evidence is flying in the face of the dreams, and that the dream are not only harming life to satisfy the self-interest of the dream. I commit myself to show that how the dream is programmed into the living flesh to feed off the flesh is not understood, and yet each one knows the choice they make when they embrace the dream, and that deep down lurks the fear. What if this is all just a dream? And it is just a dream. Yet reality is right here as a physical world, a gift like the gift of life, not realized, because the dream falsely claims that the dream is life, and the greedy fall for the dream that leads to the abdication of the gift of life, and so eternal life is lost forever. I commit myself to call to those in the dream to wake up. Life is here, if you dare. I commit myself to show that all feelings based on the dream are equal to the dream, just an illusion. I commit myself to show that the purpose of Earth is to create oneself as eternal life, and to take the gift of life and become life for real. But none shall enter that are not in fact equal as life, proven through a life on Earth. I commit myself to call on those that hear this message, to not postpone, as you do not hold your life in your hands, and at any breath, you too may be called to account yourself to see who you are, life or just a dream. I commit myself to show that each receive the right to create, but not the right to life. If you do not create yourself as life equally as what is best for life, you will never be life eternal.